Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're tackling something huge for any growing business, that constant tug of war between building a brand people remember and getting sales in the door right now. We're going to show you why looking at it as a choice, well, that's your first mistake right there.
So let's just jump right in, shall we? This is the classic dilemma, right? Do you play the long game, build up that brand loyalty that lasts for years? Or do you go for the quick wins, the sales that, keep the lights on this month? Okay, so to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to understand the two main players in this whole marketing game. Think of it like two sides of the same coin, a growth coin, if you will. Once we know what each side does, we can figure out how they're supposed to work together.
So on one hand, you've got brand marketing. And listen, this is a marathon, not a sprint. It's all about telling a great story, making that emotional connection, and building trust that lasts. I mean, think about why you'd pick a brand like Nike or Apple. It's not just the product, right? It's a feeling. That feeling, that's killer brand marketing. Now, on the other hand, you've got performance marketing. This is the sprint. It's all about getting those immediate measurable results. We're talking clicks, leads, sales, the stuff you get from things like your Google ads or the social media campaigns you're running.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. What happens when you go all in on just one of these? Well, this is where so many businesses trip up. They fall into this trap of imbalance, and it can absolutely tank their growth.
So let's say you only care about performance marketing. You get stuck in what we call the performance trap. And sure, you see that revenue coming in fast, and that feels amazing, right? But what happens over time? Your costs to get a new customer just keep climbing, and you're sitting there wondering why. It's because nobody remembers you. They buy, they leave, and because you have zero brand recall, you have to pay to get them back. Every single time.
And of course, there's the flip side, the brand trap. This is when you create this awesome campaign. You're getting all this buzz. Everyone is talking about how cool your brand is, but there's no clear way for people to actually buy anything. So you end up being really popular, but also really broke. It's a fast track to a major cash flow crisis.
Okay, so you've got these two traps. How in the world do you get out of them? Well, the answer isn't to pick a side. No. The real solution is to bring these two powerhouses together and build one unified strategy that turns them into a single, powerful engine for growth.
And this is where a concept like the fractional CMO comes into play. So what is that? Think of it as a part-time, high-level marketing strategist. Their whole job, their entire reason for being, is to connect the dots. They integrate your brand story with your sales data. They build that bridge between the two, creating a system for growth that actually lasts. And here's the kicker. You get all that brainpower without the hefty price tag of a full-time executive.
All right, so what does this balanced approach actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let's open up the playbook, because this isn't just some fluffy idea. It's a real, concrete system with clear moves for getting that integrated growth.
Look, a strategy that truly works follows a pretty clear 5-step system. First, you've got to be smart about where your money goes, allocating your budget across the entire customer journey. Next, you have to make sure you're saying the same thing everywhere, so your message is totally unified. Then you need creative that doesn't just look pretty, it has to build your brand and get people to click buy. After that, it's about mapping performance to specific channels so you know what's working where. And finally, and this is so important, you have to be constantly testing and learning from the data to get smarter every single day. So for example, check this out. For a company that's just starting out, a smart budget split might look a lot like this. You see that? The biggest chunk, a full 60%, is going to the top of the funnel. It's going to brand awareness. And that is absolutely crucial. By building that strong brand foundation first, you're actually making all your other marketing, the stuff that's designed to get sales, cheaper and way more effective down the road.
And hey, this isn't just some textbook theory. A real company, Hair Illusions, actually did this. They shifted their mindset from just chasing performance numbers to a truly balanced strategy. And what happened? They saw steady, sustainable growth, not just in sales, but in brand awareness too, all without blowing their budget on any one thing. It's just proof that this model flat out works.
So, how do you know if this is something you need? Like right now, for your business? Let's do a quick little diagnostic. See if any of this sounds familiar.
Okay, here we go. A quick checklist. Are your ads just not getting the return they used to? Is your brand's message kind of all over the place depending on where people see it? Do your marketing and sales teams feel like they're on two different planets? Maybe you're a founder trying to juggle way too many marketing hats yourself. If you're nodding along to a few of these, yeah, that's a huge red flag that you need a more integrated, sustainable way to grow. So let's bring it all home. Here is the single most important thing to take away from all this. You have to stop thinking of this as an either-or decision. Choosing between brand and performance, it's a false choice. It's a trap. The real, game-changing growth, it happens when you finally merge the two.
And that really just leaves us with one final question. A question for you to think about for your own business. Is your marketing strategy just built to survive the next quarter, or is it being built to last for years to come? The answer to that, well, it tells you everything you need to know.